Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, we, the third group, will tell you a bit about language and culture. Okay, but before that, I will introduce you to the members of the group. Okay, the first member is me, VALDO ZULLA. The second member is AZKA SYIFAUL NIKMAH. And the last member is SITA FAUZIA. Okay. The first material will be presented by me. Okay, let's check it out. Language and culture. Language. Language is vital to understand our cultural perspectives. And language is a tool that is used to explore and experience our cultures and the perspectives that are embedded in our cultures. As cultures come up with new ideas and they develop language components to express those ideas. Oke, jadi di sini language itu adalah sebuah alat yang digunakan untuk menjelajahi dan merasakan atau melihat budaya-budaya kita dan melihat cara pandang kita terhadap budaya tersebut. Dan budaya di sini tuh berperan sebagai sebagai alat yang memajukan komponen dari bahasa kita untuk mengekspresikan ide-ide yang ada dalam bahasa kita tersebut. Okay. And the next material is what is word hypothesis. Okay. Word hypothesis. It says we cut nature up, organize it into concepts and describe significances as we do, largely because we are party to an agreement which holds in the pattern of our language. Okay, and theory and word hypothesis is actually the theory that tells us about the structure of a language, which determines the way in which speakers of that language view the world. Atau bisa dibilang itu hipotesis word itu adalah sebuah teori yang menjelaskan kita tentang struktur dari bahasa yang menentukan cara speakers dari bahasa tersebut itu melihat dunia gitu. Jadi hipotesis ini itu adalah sebuah teori yang bisa dibilang itu menentukan teori yang menjelaskan tentang struktur dari bahasa yang menentukan cara speaker itu untuk melihat dunia gitu. Jadi seperti itu. Okay? That's all from me. Thank you.
Kinship is the most universal and basic of all human relationships and is based on blood, marriage, or adoption. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, kinship is a system of social organization based on real or protective family ties. There are two basic kinds of kinship ties. First, those based on blood that trace descent, for example, is children and grandchild. Those based on marriage, for example, wife, husband, and those based on adoption, that's step-sister or step-brothers, and those based other connection. Kinship systems are a universal feature of language because kinship is so important in social organization. Some systems are much richer than others, but all make us such factors as gender, generation, blood, and marriage in their organization. The kinship system, which determines who is called what, and it is not the behavior of the individuals which lead them to be called this or that. It means kinship system is how we call our family. There may be certain difficult. Of course, you can ask a particular person what he or she calls others who have no relationship to that person. For example of kinship system, in English, both your father's fathers or Fafa and your mother's fathers or Mova are called grandfathers, but that term includes another term's fathers. Actually, then you call your grandfather with father's fathers, it's more simple. You call him by grandfathers, but actually, your grandfather is your mother's father. Taxonomies. People also use language to classify and categorize various aspects of the world in which they live, but they don't always classify things the way scientists do. They often develop systems which we call folk taxonomies, rather than scientific classification. A folk taxonomy is a way of classifying a certain part of reality so that it makes some kind of sense to those who have to deal with it. Typically, such taxonomies involve matters like naturally occurring flora and fauna in the environment, but they may also involve other matters too. It's more simple that folk taxonomies are generated from social knowledge and are used in everyday speech. Then we use scientists' name, better we use something more simple that we use in everyday speech. For the example, look that picture. The name of scientific name is Lycoperdon ambrinum, but many people call or say it as the amber brown puffball. The folk taxonomic term puffball has no direct scientific equivalent and doesn't slot precisely into scientific taxonomy. And in other example, in Indonesia, it's like Oriza sativa is for rice, or Indonesia is padi, and then Zemais is for jagung or corn, and then Allium sativum is for garlic or bawang putih. Color terminology. The terms people use to describe color give us another means of exploring the relationship between different language and cultures. Are color terms arbitrary, or is there a general pattern? If there is a pattern, what are its the characteristic and why might it exist? Berlin, N.K., 1969, typological pattern relating to specific subsection of the term color, which is named the basic color term. The basic color terms represent words colors that stand out and are commonly used, and in English composed from red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink, gray, brown, black, and white. Color in English are categorized into basic color concept that is further explained into three colors group, namely basic or primary colors, for example, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink, gray, brown, black, and white. And then combination or secondary colors, that is red plus blue will be purple, and then blue plus yellow will be green, red plus yellow will be orange, and variation or tertiary colors, magenta is red combination with purple, and then violet is purple combination with blue, and teal is combination blue with green, and chartreuse is combination green combined with yellow, and amber is combination from yellow with orange.
And the next material is prototype. What is prototype? We can define prototype is the most common or the most typical instance of something. For example, when I said fruit, probably you have thought of an apple. You didn't think about banana, cherry, and etc. So, the most typical which come to your mind when you heard that term, it is prototype. Let's see another example. Let's see the picture. When you want to define what is cow, you prefer to say moo. Instead of say it has 4 legs and etc. Because moo is the word that most relate with cow. The next material is taboo and euphemism. When we talk taboo and euphemism, it has very strong relation to culture and society. Why like that? Because that term happened in our culture and our society. So, what is taboo and what is euphemism? Let's discuss about those terms. Taboo and euphemism are related with meaning. We will see how cultural meaning are expressed in language. We as humans, we using language as a tool to interact and to communicate each other. But when we live in certain community or certain culture, we cannot always say what's on our mind. It's not because we cannot say it, but because we don't have to say it. Why like that? It's called as taboo. So, what is taboo? Taboo is prohibition or avoidance in any society of behavior beliefs to be harmful to its member in that it would cause them anxiety, embarrassment, or shame. On the other word, taboo is prohibition or rejection of some types of behavior or language because they are considered socially unacceptable. For example, you are a stranger and meet Japanese people in Japan. Don't ever ask them about age. Don't ever ask them how old are you in your conversation because it's considered impolite. And another example, in Muslim community, we don't allow to eat pork. Even touching it it considered haram or forbidden. Then, English also has taboo. Social anthropologist Edmund Leach identified three major categories of taboo words and phrases in English. First, 30 words that are concerned with sex and aggression such as bug, booger, and shit. Second, words that have to do with the Christian religion such as Christ and Jesus. The last is words which are used animal abuse or calling a person by the name of animal such as bitch and cow. The next is the categorization of taboo according to psychological. The first is taboo of fear. This kind of taboo refers to supernatural things. This includes God, the devil, and names of certain animals. The second is taboo of delicacy. People also try to avoid direct reference to topics they find unpleasant. There are some subjects that include into taboo delicacy, such as death and war. The last is taboo of propriety. The three most areas in this category are sex, certain body parts, and excretion. The next and the last is euphemism. Euphemism is a word or phrase that stands in for another word or phrase, chosen to mask or soften the true meaning of what is being expressed. Euphemism words allow us to talk about unpleasant things and disguise or neutralize the unpleasantness, for example, subject of sickness, death, dying, unemployment, and criminality. Or for simple definition, euphemism is the way you to talk about embarrassing things. For example, we prefer to say passed away rather than die. Maybe die is more simple, but it's considered quite impolite. So, what is the relation between taboo and euphemism? There is the relation between taboo and euphemism. As I explained before, there are so many subjects of taboo. So, in some places, the euphemism should be applied in all the taboo subjects. In order to make them to be comfort to be cited, we should use an euphemism.